FBARs. What is an FBAR? When do you need to file it? If indeed you do need to file it at all. Well, that is something that I cover in this very video. Hi everyone, my name is Simon Meshevich from Optimize Accountants, and here we're going to be talking about FBAR, which is the report of foreign bank and financial accounts. Okay, so not so easy to kind of read that out, but that's what it is anyway. So let's just go through what an FBAR is, who must file it, when you must file it by, and how you file it for that matter. So let's just go through detail. I'm going to move this over so you guys can see this quite easily without squinting, which is what I do. So who must file? A financial interest in or a signature of or authority over at least one financial account located outside the United States. Okay, it's point one. If the aggregate value of those foreign financial accounts exceeded 10,000 at any time during the calendar year reported. Note the word aggravated or aggregate. So let's talk about that. So it's at any point in the year you had aggregate $10,000. Okay, so the $10,000 is any point in time in that year. If you have exceeded by one day that 10,000 on aggregate, then boy, you have to do an FBAR. So even if at the end of the financial year, which for Americans of course is the calendar year system, you only have 7,000, well, it matters not, because you would have to file this if at any point in time you had over 10,000 on aggregate value. So really important to note that, so that do avoid that mistake. Generally, an account of financial institution located outside the United States is a foreign financial account. Bank accounts, basically. Bank accounts, you could have an ISA in the UK, still constitutes in the USA, so do think about that. Pensions, you could have other types of savings accounts as well that will be constituting that, and that's really important for you to get across. Is you've got to look at all of your savings accounts, add those up at 10,000, and then start reporting that over to the government. Generally, I mentioned that. Sorry, you don't need to do an FBAR if all your foreign financial accounts are prepared and consolidated FBAR. If you're confused by that, me too. All your foreign financial accounts are jointly owned with your spouse, and you completed a signed, authorized your spouse to file on your behalf, but you still got to do it anyway, don't you? So one of you've got to do that, and this video is still useful for one of you at the very least. When must a FBAR be filed? Well, the FBAR is an annual report due by the April 15th. Please note this kind of phrase though. You're allowed an automatic extension, so you don't need to request it, to October 15th if you fail to meet FBAR annual due date of April 15th. Why didn't you just call it October 15th? Notes below the comments box. Type it in. What do you think about that? Okay, you don't need to request an extension to file the FBAR either, which is even incredible. Okay, I'm going to go to how to file, but you do need to use the BSA e-filing system, which I'm going to take you through in a second. You can see the URLs description box, but typically you can just Google this information and get that free. Keeping records. This is really important, not just for FBAR, but just generally, I would say keep these records for at least 6-7 years in the most. And that's because of not just the US tax authorities, but you also have the UK tax authorities in HMRC. So always keep your bank accounts. But typically, you want your statements, your annual statements from all of your institutions, including your pensions, okay? So many people focus all their efforts to earn money, but when the money is invested, how much do you really keep an eye on it? How many of you do that? Really? I mean, come on, let's be honest. Put a comment in the box below and tell me if you religiously look at your statements for your pensions and all your investments and see critically if it's performing well. Put a note in the comments box below. Okay, so you have to have all your statements for the years. I would say keep for 6 years. There are some huge penalties for not filing FBAR, and it's amazing how many people I hear, especially Americans living in the UK, well, I don't need to do an FBAR, I don't have enough money, when actually they add up their own savings and realize, whoa, I'm way over the 10,000. Didn't realize that. Oops. Because look at these penalties. I'm going to just please pause this video. I'm not going to talk about them because they're scary. They're huge penalties. So pause this video, have a look at these penalties yourself, scare yourself half to death, and then get a professional to do your FBAR. Then you got this contact us, so I'll leave this page as well. Pause this video if you want to take some notes from this, or just go to this page yourself and pull out all this information about who to contact if you need any help. This is the page, so this is the BSA e-filing system for your FBAR, and what it says here, I'm just going to move that over here. So this is not to go to your as an attachment to your 1040 tax return. No. This is a separate filing, and it will go. It's the FinCEN report 114, which is the FBAR report. Okay, so again, just some terminology really that the FinCEN report 114 is the FBAR. And you could do that using a PDF download. You should basically download it, re-upload it somewhere, and then you can, or you could do it online, which is better. Now, please note that if you're a bit scared about all of this, we Optimize Accountants can do this FBAR for you. And that's why I've highlighted. If you are not filing the FBAR as an individual, or in the case of an attorney, CPA, or an enrollment agent, which we are, the FBAR on behalf of your client, us, must obtain to file FBAR by registered to become an FBAR filer. Okay, so we can deal with this FBAR filing for you. It's a huge amount of penalties, so let's not get that wrong and contact Optimize Accountants to help you file your FBAR return. Hopefully that video was useful for you, but please do not stop there. There are plenty of videos that I know that will help you build your wealth whilst reducing your tax liability. And in this video, well, this is the one I think you should be watching right now.